going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome. Today I want to talk about alternatives to DJI. Sure, DJI makes a great drone, but it's not for everybody. There are a lot of different reasons why you may want to opt for a drone that isn't made by DJI. Maybe you're worried about this potential ban. Maybe you want to root for the underdog. Maybe you're just looking for an alternative. I have a handful of different drones at different price points that do different things for different reasons. So let's figure out what are the alternatives to DJI. Okay, before I get going, I just want you to know I have links to all of these drones down below. Yes, they're affiliate links, and no, they don't cost you a thing to use, but they do give me a little commission, and that's just a way to help support the channel. You can think of it as a way to say thanks if I've helped you make a decision on a drone. All right, let's get after it. Okay, I'm starting with this. This is the LYRC L200 Pro Max. It is a $100 drone. This is the least expensive drone that I'm going to recommend today. I'm going to assume if you're thinking about DJI, you're thinking about taking good pictures and video, and this is basically the least expensive option out there that I really would recommend. This has a pretty decent camera, some decent specs. So this is a 2.7K camera on a 2-axis gimbal, has a 23-minute flight time and a range of just under 2 miles. Now you can get it with an obstacle avoidance module, but do not bother, it doesn't work very well. But it's a decent beginner drone. It's pretty stable, it has GPS, it has a handful of intelligent flight modes. This is a really good place to start, and it's not going to break the bank. You can also buy this thing on Amazon. Sometimes it's sold as the Wii Phone WF40. It's a decent beginner option, but no, it's not professional grade, and no, it's not incredibly durable. $100, pretty decent deal, but it's not the best option out there. As we move up in price, we've got these two options. This is the C-Fly Faith Mini 2, and this is the C-Fly Faith Mini 1. Now the Mini 1, I think actually is a better deal. It's generally less than $200, whereas the Mini 2 is generally just over 200 bucks. Yes, the Mini 2 is better, it has a better camera, but again, neither one of these are professional grade quality, so I think if you're just a beginner and you're looking for something to start with, I'd go with the original. The original has a 26-minute flight time, a range of 1.9 miles, that's 3,000 meters, same as the L200 that I mentioned before. The camera is limited to 2.7K at 25 frames a second, so not great. It'll do 4K, but at 15 frames a second, that's not what you're looking for. It does have GPS, it does have some intelligent flight modes. For a little bit more money, you get a real 4K camera that'll shoot 4K 30. This is a 3-axis gimbal on the Mini 2. We get the flight time up to 32 minutes and a range of 5,000 meters. That's just over 3 miles. So definite upgrade, but at $200 or just over $200, this probably isn't the best option you can get. The best option at just under 300 bucks is this. This is the Specta Mini. And if it looks familiar, yeah, you've seen it before. It's actually produced by DJI, but not sold by DJI. It's sold by a company called Specta. Now, Specta basically takes DJI hardware and software. They forked it, they do their own thing. The batteries, the controllers, they're not compatible. Specta is its own entity. But you get all of the DJI goodness inside of a non-DJI drone. And the thing that's really nice about the Specta brand is there is no geofencing. Now, I don't think any of these drones I'm going to mention today have geofencing, but all DJI drones do. So if you're looking to avoid geofencing, this is a really good option and probably the best camera I've talked about so far. This is a 4K 30 on a full 3-axis gimbal. It's got a flight time of up to 31 minutes and a range of 10,000 meters. That's over 6 miles. You do have a bunch of intelligent flight modes. No, there is no follow me on this one. It is less than 250 grams like all the drones I mentioned so far, and that's a big deal because you don't have to register it and you don't have to have remote ID. There are also some other rules in other countries outside the United States where 250 grams is kind of like the magic number. This is a really good drone, great for a beginner, and like I said, it's less than 300 bucks. I even saw this thing on sale Black Friday for $220. That is a steal. Two other mini drone options you may want to consider: the Potensic Atom and the FPV Mini version 3. This is the Mini version 3. I think this one's a little bit better than the Potensic Atom, and they're both right around $300. The Mini version 3 here has a longer flight time and a better range. You can get 31 to 37 minutes depending on which battery you get, and a range of up to 9,000 meters. That's 5.5 miles. It has a bunch of intelligent flight modes, and this one actually does follow me, and it does it pretty well. FPV is also making a less expensive SE version. That's going to be a downgraded camera. They also make an X8, which is kind of like their full-size drone if you're looking for something a little bit bigger and more capable. If you're considering the new DJI Neo, then you may want to consider one of these. These are the hover drones. This is the X1 and this is the X1 Pro Max. And these are both really good drones. And actually, I'm pretty sure DJI got the idea of the Neo from hover. You can put this drone right on your hand, push a button, it'll take off. You choose the mode that you're looking for. Both of these drones are less than 250 grams. Both of them fold up nice and compactly. And the Pro Max version here has an awesome camera. This one has a better camera than the Neo. The original X1 probably isn't quite as good as the Neo camera, but this one is absolutely better. I'd say this is on par with the Mini 4 series that DJI has. It's a 1/1.3 inch sensor, a bunch of intelligent flight modes. You can, again, have it take off from the palm of your hand with a push of a button, or you can connect it to a controller. There are a lot of different options you can use with this hover. Now it is a little bit more expensive, with the Pro version being $500, the Pro Max version being $700, and the original version here being right around 300 bucks. But this is an excellent drone to take on vacation with you because it's so portable. You just kind of fold it up and do what you need to do. I plan to keep this one here in my camera bag just because it doesn't take up a whole lot of space and it's super light. The drawbacks to these, they don't have great flight time, about 10 minutes on the original and about 16 on the upgraded version. They also don't have super great range because you're either flying it with no phone or your phone, so keep that in mind, unless you go to the remote controller with this and it'll increase your range. But still, this thing isn't something you're going to want to be flying out of your visual line of sight. Holy Stone makes a handful of decent drones. I think the one that I probably recommend most is the 720G, only because it's got a decent camera and it's not super expensive. I just saw it for about $160. Either way, decent drones on Amazon. 720G is probably the best just because it has a 4K camera, a 20-minute flight time, and it's not incredibly expensive. Before I get to my favorite non-DJI option, I want to talk about a couple other potential things you may want to consider. I'm a big fan of Emax, and they make a handful of different FPV drones. So this here is the Nanohawk Cine. So if you're looking for something to compete with the Avata or the Avata 2, this one does have DJI O3 on board, but it's not made by DJI. That part is, but the drone itself is made by Emax. They make great FPV kits. I'm a big fan of their Nano Scout. It's an all-in-one tiny whoop FPV package. You get the drone, the goggles, the controller, everything you need to get flying. Whereas this one, you're gonna have to buy those other components separately. But if you're into cinewhooping, you may want to consider this. I do have to mention Autel. They make a pretty decent drone as well. The Evo 2 or the Evo Lite, those are both good options. You can still find them on Amazon. They're fairly expensive. I don't know if I go that route. If you want a really good camera drone, professional grade stuff, this is my recommendation. This is the Specta Air, and yes, it looks familiar. It looks like the DJI Air 3, but it isn't. Again, made by Specta, sold by Specta only in the United States and only on Amazon. It is not compatible with DJI remotes. It is not compatible with DJI batteries. Specta is their own entity. Now it does have this same dual 1/1.3 inch camera system that is fantastic. Some of the best pictures and videos we've ever taken have come out of this drone. It is over 250 grams, so you will have to deal with that. You're gonna get a flight time of 46 minutes and 20,000 meters. That's over 12 miles. This has all the flight modes you're looking for, including Follow Me, Active Track, all of the goodies built into this one. And you can see the obstacle avoidance modules on this one. So you have 360-degree obstacle avoidance as well. This is a professional grade drone at a pretty decent price. I just saw this thing for $750. That was the cheapest I've ever seen it. I think Black Friday, it actually jumped a little to $799, but either way, this is a great deal. I mean, you're not gonna buy the Air 3 for less than $1,000 anyway. This is definitely an option, and best of all, no geofencing, so keep that in mind. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Were there any drones that I missed? Any drones that you think that we should consider in terms of taking good pictures and video, not made by DJI, or at least not branded DJI and sold by DJI? Because this one's really close. But again, Specta's their own deal, their own company, their own entity. If you're interested in buying any of these drones, we have links down below. They are affiliate links and they help support this channel. You don't have to buy a drone, you can buy anything you need. Buy a pair of socks on Amazon, we'll still get a little commission. It's a great way to say thanks to the channel. That way we can keep making videos for you. If you're considering becoming a professional Part 107 pilot, we've got all sorts of info in the description down below and tons of videos for our Patreons. Check that out down below. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love to have you back, so click that button. Good luck everyone and happy flying.